You didn't like it?
No.
You didn't want it on there?
No.
Why not? It's pretty good, dude. It was just like that chill music.
Yeah.
It's like that lo-fi hip hop.
Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome in to the 23 Moto Podcast Show. Welcome in. We are live in studio.
Are you good?
Yeah.
We are coming at you live.
You say it so much like an announcer. We are coming at you live.
That's kind of the
Straight from my brother's couch. Can you turn my headphones up a little bit?
point. No.
Or my mic?
Do you really want it
just
up?
a little bit? Yeah.
No.
I don't like it.
You know what it is?
No, dude.
It's the intro music. There you go. All right, intro
How's
music.
that? No. I mean, it's all right.
Sock Moto, what's up? What's up? All right,
I like it loud.
we finally have racing coming back this weekend.
Yeah.
Thank God. Round 1 of the SMX Playoffs.
So happy.
Hi, dads. Who's that?
Hey, Dankini.
Dakini?
Hey,
Is that our Hawaiian brother?
we're your dad.
That would be weird.
Shout out. Dude.
Well, it would be more dad and uncle, but yeah, sure, whatever. Anyways, welcome
What
to
if
the
it though?
23 Moto
Is
Podcast.
that a thing? Is that a thing? I mean,
Yes.
you can have two dads.
Shout out.
You can have two dads, bro.
Factory Effects. We're not getting into that. Factory Effects, ETS Racing Fuel, Yoshimura Exhaust, Motorsport.com, Luxon Clamps, Albeco Bags, Carita's Tires. They officially have asked me to help them with some social media stuff.
That's great. I'm looking for
So I'm
rims and
shouting them
tires
out.
for my truck. Hey, whoever's out
Carita's
there,
Tires.
shut in the door loud.
Yeah, we're podcasting here, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a lot to get to in a short period of time. All
Yeah,
right, we have a
got-
condensed
we got
schedule today.
15-minute show.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit longer than that. I want to get to Robbie had a really funny thing that happened to him today. That was funny to me.
Two things, dude.
And I'll start the story and then you finish it off.
Okay.
But we have Charlotte coming up this weekend. We have AP coming back to race. Who else is coming back?
Dude, we got
Cooper Webb will be there.
Yep. Roxon will be there.
Roxon will be there. Anderson's out. And
Anderson's doing World Supercross.
yeah, but he's out for this.
You know who else is out?
Prado's not
Prado.
out. No, he's not. He's racing. He's there.
Said who?
Said him.
Breaking
and
news
Cowie.
today said no.
It's not breaking news today, though. What happened today?
Christian Craig left Star Racing. That was
Or
yesterday.
yesterday. Sorry, yesterday. Christian
I was like,
Craig
wait a
is
minute.
officially out of Star Racing
Yeah.
Yamaha.
He is.
What I'm being told is for World Supercross only.
I got the
This
I got
is
the scoop
world-
on it.
This is World Supercross only. He's going to Quadlock Honda
Yep.
for World Supercross only.
Yep.
I have been told that, but from a very reliable source.
Yep.
And I will not. I'll tell you off camera who told me though.
I knew who it was.
Okay. And
I don't know who it was.
And
But
so Christian Craig is going to be riding World Supercross, which I think it's good. But then I guess
I think it's great.
I guess his wife posted something today
Uh-huh.
about like there was like some type of like read between the lines type.
I saw the
post.
video.
Well, what did
The
it
one in her
say?
van of her driving.
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
So the one that she posted in her van was talking about, and it's very simple, and it's what I broke it down to as well, and what I thought is Christian. Star Racing has signed Christian to a Supercross only deal. Christian is coming towards the end of his career, right? So he wants to do as much racing as possible as he possibly can.
Mhm.
He's stuck only doing Supercross only when he wants to do SMX, and he wanted to do motocross, but they wouldn't allow that. So he's leaving to go to a team that's going to allow him to do all those.
Yeah, but
He
I
wants
don't-
to race.
But I don't know if he'll go there for next year in Supercross though. I don't
To
know.
the new team or Quadlock Honda?
To Quadlock Honda.
I
I don't
So
know.
here's the thing. She did post something, right? They were in Florida, and she says we're on our way to our new facility.
I mean, it
Our
could
new
be
place.
Triumph. I mean, but I don't know
Who else
why.
is in Florida over by Star? Or no, Star's in
Honda.
Florida, yeah.
Honda. I think the Quadlock guys do at the Dog Pound or whatever it is.
She didn't say we're going over there for this. She said our new team.
I don't know, man.
So,
It's confusing as heck.
but what
is-
do you think though? He wants to race. Star's not allowing him to do all the races that he wants to do. They're allowing him to do Supercross only. So would you leave as well to be like, hey,
Yeah.
dude, I want to do SMX. I want to do motocross. I want to do World Supercross. I want to do Paris. I want to do this, that, but they're not allowing it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you
I
leave?
would. Yes, I would. Well, it depends. It depends.
If you're
It-
stuck on a Supercross
I need to know,
only,
but I need to know the full details of the entire thing before I cast my judgment.
and you know what's going to happen? We will
What?
never know.
No, we'll find out when like people like don't like race for the team anymore or retired or whatever.
That, but you'll never get down to the actual nitty gritty, the detail.
I know.
Of it. You'll get the soft version of it.
Yeah, but so whatever's best for him, I'm okay with. I get it. I understand that sometimes you have to do what's best for you.
You want to race,
and if he wants to race, he's going to go race.
Yeah.
The thing that I did think was kind of weird is people saying that he's going to Cowie. I'm like, I don't
bunch of stuff saying going to Cali,
but they won't do a Supercross only deal. I don't think.
No, he doesn't want to do a Supercross only deal.
He wants to race outdoors.
No, okay. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. Then he's league left Star
because he wants to race more.
Because he wants to race more, and Star's only putting him to a Supercross only deal.
I thought he wanted a Supercross only.
No,
deal.
he wants to race. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I really wish this. You know what's funny? I asked him
to
come on the podcast.
450, by the way.
I asked him to come on the podcast, and he said, "I don't know what you want to talk about. Like, I don't know what there's to talk about. I'm not racing."
When did you?
I'm
ask
like,
that?
brother, it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I'm
You're
like,
still
dude,
Christian Craig, dude.
I'm like, bro, we have a lot to talk about. What are you talking about,
bro? You don't want to come on the #1 podcast in the world? That's fine. We have Sean Brennan coming on.
All right, so we have Ganolfi coming up too from 100%.
Oh yeah,
he's coming in first any minute now. But before we get to that, I do have to get to a funny story. So I'm at the grocery store today and minding my own business, getting groceries. I was getting some sliced chicken.
Nice.
And for my sandwiches.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I get a notification on my phone that says,
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Robbie Corley has alerted emergency services, SOS. Please contact him immediately or something like that, like along those lines. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude, that's not that. Like, what the heck is going on? And then, but usually you like, look how many times I got it.
Oh, it sent you like
emergency SOS. Robert Corley called emergency services from this approximate location. Dude, you know what's sad?
What?
And I don't want to get into it too much, but you know what's sad is my initial thought was like, oh my God, what happened where you're at? You know what I mean?
Something's going down.
And I'm like, oh no. And then
something's going down because
then
the
I
location
called you.
That yeah.
Then I called you and you're like, when you answered the phone, you made it worse because I heard a bunch of people talking, but you weren't talking to me. And I'm like, oh no, something is wrong.
Oh yeah.
And then,
well, I didn't know you were on the phone.
Well, tell the people.
So long story short is
I thought my brother was dead.
Yeah, my LCD screen on my phone broke, so I couldn't see anything.
Wait, did you get it replaced?
I already got it replaced. Yes.
Oh, God damn,
the screen was completely green, right? So I was trying to shut my phone off because it kept making noises, and I'm like, I can't shut whatever the noise is. I can't shut it off.
That was the SOS.
No, it wasn't. It was before that. I caused the SOS. So
yeah, you caused an SOS.
Apparently, if you hit the button like 5 times on the side of the phone,
yeah, it calls emergency services.
Yeah, dude, it calls the cops.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well, my phone started going crazy, and I was like, what is that noise? I don't know what's going on with my phone. Like, why is it making this noise after I pressed it 5 times? And then I hear on the line, because I'm holding my phone down here, it's sitting on my desk, and I'm like, what is that noise? And I pick it up, and it's all, hello, this is 911. What is your emergency? I'm all,
nothing. I don't have one.
Oh, crap, dude. I'm like,
you should have asked.
What the heck?
What's going on with Prado?
Yeah,
that's my emergency.
I could have asked him. That is an emergency. So I was like, I didn't mean to call you. I said, I don't know what's going on with my phone. My screen doesn't work. I am so sorry. I'm like, she's like, and then she said, Are you at blah, blah, blah? And
I said, yes.
Where I was at is kind of a place if you're calling emergency services. You know what I mean? It's a little bit. Yeah. So they already had people en route. And I'm like, don't send anybody. I'm perfectly fine. Like, cancel the Calvary. Like, we're solid. Well, little did I know is it's everybody in my emergency contacts. It sent them all the same thing as sent you.
Yeah, I know. I got a call from Mom. Oh. Mom thought you were in trouble.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
Wait, who called you first?
You did.
Okay.
Right,
I'm just saying.
So good.
I immediately, your wife didn't call you first.
My
mom didn't call you first.
Okay, but the thing is,
your brother's uncle didn't call you first. I guess our uncle.
Our uncle did.
But no, who called you first?
You did.
Okay. I just say,
no, that's not true, dude. That's actually not true.
No.
The cops called me first.
No, that's not true. I called you first and you had no idea what was going on. I was first.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I got your back, bro.
5 minutes prior to that, I was on the phone with my wife from my work phone.
Oh,
so she knew I was perfectly fine.
Yeah, but what happens in the 5 minutes, though? She didn't call back?
She already knew my phone was all messed up.
But what happens in the 5 minutes?
She answered everybody else's phone calls as like, his phone's broke. He's perfectly fine.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying.
When I heard
something happened.
When I heard coming from my phone, 911, what is your emergency? I was like,
you're like, I don't know. You called me.
I screwed up. Like, what happened? You know what I mean?
Dude, that's pretty good, dude. I like that.
It was.
That was funny.
If I didn't answer my phone or heard that, dude, cops would have came to where I was at, and that wouldn't have been good at all.
No, dude, it's just, but it was freaking hilarious. All of a sudden, I was like, all right.
Well, thanks for having me back, dude.
Hey, Mike Gomes. About time you come in here and show some respect, Mike Gomes. It's been a long time coming.
He wants,
but
something.
If you don't watch the 23 Moto pod, you don't know Moto.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, shoot that right now, dude.
I have a.
What about my arm, dude?
Oh, dude.
What about my crazy?
We did go to Disneyland yesterday.
We did.
That was fun.
But my crazy story in my arm that I should have gotten stitches, but my wife glued it together.
Full of weird stories.
Glued it together right here and put it all back together. Dude, we were at the beach. There was a kid getting attacked by a shark, and I elbowed that thing right in the mouth.
It's true. He punched him.
Elbowed it right in the mouth and split my whole freaking arm open.
Tell me what really happened.
I was going down a water slide, and my freaking elbow hit something, and it split the whole thing open to where you can see the whole bone.
Dude, it was pretty bad. When you showed us the picture, I was like, whoa.
How does that happen? How do you go down a water slide and bust your arm open?
You being an idiot?
I wasn't even doing anything, dude.
Yeah, I
was going down a water slide.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
so
what it is.
You've had a chaotic couple days.
Yeah.
Everything happens in threes. Is there anything else that has happened?
Not yet.
Ooh, all right. Well, we can figure that one out.
Actually, yeah, something before happened to that, but I'm not going to say it on camera.
Yeah, don't say it on camera.
Yeah. My wife punched me right in the mouth.
Yeah, it happens, dude. Okay, so back to racing.
All right.
Okay. So we finally have a full slate. Besides, I'm trying to think of who else really could be like a podium contender that's not going to be there.
For what? World Supercross?
No.
SMX?
SMX playoffs.
That's not going to be there?
Yeah, so it's just Anderson, right? I think it's just Anderson.
That's not going to be there?
Yeah, because Cooper Webb will be there.
Wait, hold on. Okay, get to this point though, because RacerX put out an article today that says Prado will not be there. That he's not on the entry list.
No, he's not on. He's not an MX of Nations list. He's not going to MX of Nations.
Oh yeah, not SMX. Sorry, my bad.
Yes, Chase Sexton is back. He is going back. Apparently looking fast from everybody that has been DMing me, and I'm not gonna expose my people.
He's been looking at them glute pics again.
He's looking good. Chase Sexton is looking very fast, very comfortable, very strong. But it's the practice track, so you never really know. And he kind of has always practiced fast, so I don't know if that really means a whole lot.
Would you rather have a guy that's an okay practice guy, okay qualifier, but just dominates in racing?
Yes.
Or would you have a guy that's just like, dude, what was that?
That was a big ass RV.
Not a guy that's super solid in practice and super solid in qualifying, but always chokes in racing for some reason?
No, dude, I don't give a crap how you choke or anything like that. I don't. Well, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know if he caught that one, but I caught it.
I got it.
But I don't care if you are the fastest dude in the entire world at practice and you beat Jet Lawrence every single freaking time you're out there on a practice track. But then as soon as a race starts, you turtle shell and go back in and you just get 10th.
Yeah.
Who cares, dude? Why? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Saying stop watching nationals.
Speaking of Jet Lawrence, he has a new product. Did you see it?
Oh, I did. Oh, I actually did see it.
It's actually pretty cool.
His goggles?
But but we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because we have a guy on the line that really knows.
Oh, now I know why you said it.
Yeah. I'm like, there's a guy that's waiting. So from 100% goggles.
Yay.
Oh man, I'm such an idiot.
Bro, this guy, rookie. I would have brought him in.
So let's bring in Dave Ganolfi, former really fast racer as well in his own right. Now coming in with 100% with a new model launch today, or a new, I would say, product launch for Jet today. Welcome to the 23 Moto podcast.
What's up, guys? How are you?
I'm good. I'm just looking at your monkeys behind you.
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
Those are pretty cool pictures.
Thanks.
Not gonna lie.
That was pretty good. All right. So talk to me about your role at 100% first, obviously, and I don't know. I know a lot of people kind of are aware of you because of Pulp. You've been on, the Mathis podcast, stuff like that. You've been around, you've been in the industry a long time, know, but some of my viewers don't know kind of the ins and outs of people that actually do the day in and day out of a brand, you know what I mean? Especially 100%. I wear 100% goggles, just an FYI. I wore them before I knew Dave.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, give us a lowdown on you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so started racing when I was 10. did the whole local thing, then Loretta's, made it to Loretta's, top 10s there, A class, pro nationals, never got inside the top 20, but like I'd be in all the motos. I just couldn't fathom that kind of battle for that long. Like I would just, I'd get discouraged, like 20 minutes in as hard as you can. And like, you're not, I wasn't making up any time on 25th place. You know, it was just like, fuck, this is, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You keep going. You're good.
Okay. So yeah. So anyway, then, you know, some supercrosses here and there. An injury led me to an arena cross team because I missed supercross, and they were like, hey, we got a spot. You want to try it? I thought arena cross was super dumb. Like, I'm like, this is so little and dumb, whatever.
Yeah,
sure. I'll give it a go. Went there and like did well and made like left with money. And I was like, damn, like, okay, kind of cool. Like I was, you know, you're battling for podiums, you're making money. Like I'm not going to do that in supercross as much as that would be cool. Like it's just what's given to me, resources and myself, like that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like 25 at this point. So I was like, okay, like arena cross next year. That's what I'm doing. So I had a full-time job. My dad owned a gas station, car repair shop in New Jersey. So I've told this story before, but I would work there and then race. So like racing was never I'm a pro, this is what I do. It was like, I have a job that pays my bills. I love racing, and whatever I make from that, that's cool too.
Nice.
So I would live down in Georgia, obviously working for my dad. He would give me the time off. So I know I'm privileged in that sense. Like I'm not some struggling privateer. Like that was awesome of him. So I would go down into Georgia, like October, probably in about October to start training for which the season started in January. And then once the season started, I would go back to New Jersey and work like Monday through Thursdays, and then either drive if the track was close enough, or make arrangements prior that someone had my bike and I would fly in, kind of thing. So I did arena cross from like 2008 to 2015. I got, in that time, you know, I got two, they called it the lights class. I got 2 lights championships, and then was like a top 10, some podiums in like the premier class, even though we were all on 250s.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time we were on 450s as well, but anyway, so top 10 in the premier class, podiums all the time in the other class, and contingency was good. And, you know, not that I made some money, but I wasn't losing money.
Yeah. What's it like racing arena cross? Because arena cross to me is way more gnarly in a sense of like, it's like full of like a bunch of Justin Barcias and Jason Andersons is what it seems like. You know what I mean?
It is. Experience is your best friend with that. Like once you figure out one, just like your bike setup, the gearing makes a huge difference. So like once you get down, and then the racecraft itself, once you learn like, okay, I'm not going to try and kill this guy, and then, you know, then we lose all of our momentum, and then the 3 guys behind us pass us, and then we start that all over. You kind of, it's really weird. Like the mains are like, I don't know, 6 minutes. But in that 6 minutes, you still process the same thing you would in a 40-minute moto. There's still the start, right? You know, people battle, space each other out, set up stuff, methodical. It's like, it's kind of like time slows down in that chaos somehow. But yeah, super short mains. But again, like that, the mental process felt the same as any other kind of racing.
Listen, I've said it once and I'll say it again. In the right setting, 6 minutes is a long time. It's a very long time. I'm just saying. So earlier I got him speechless on that one. This is a raw podcast, bro. We let it fly. We kind of keep things rolling.
Okay. Your wife's good in 6 minutes?
Oh, dude, it's a good 6 minutes, bro.
Yeah,
like, quality, right? You make it count. You could win a championship in 6 minutes, bro.
She's stuck around this long. You know what I mean?
So 13 years, bro.
Must be doing something
13 years. It was kind of funny earlier when I was looking on. This is always the weirdest thing of like trying to create thumbnails and like promo posts for like when people are coming on or whatever. It's like, what picture do you use? And you have some really good pictures out there, like some podium pictures, some long hair pictures. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to use one from like way back when. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want to do my boy dirty like that. And, but there's some good pictures of you in race settings out there.
Let me ask you, because I was looking through your Instagram today. Do you have a photographer that just follows you around? Yeah. Because there is some good stuff on there, dude.
You do. Yeah.
You got like solid stuff on there that I was like, damn, that's a sick picture. And it's like you putting a pair of goggles down.
Yeah.
You know
No.
what I mean?
You know what? That might have been like somebody in our office or something. If it's the one.
Okay.
So can I say why I think you have a lot of pictures like that? Because you're pretty cool with a lot of people, right? And you're pretty real. You're authentically yourself. And so I think a lot of people gel with that. And so like if I see you, doing something, I'd snap a photo of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I always try to be just who I am. And that's all it is.
In your short pink shorts.
You're telling me this guy hasn't taken a picture of you?
I think I have. He's been in my vlogs.
I know that.
You took one of me and Jet, I remember, on the line somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. That was actually a hard photo.
Good one.
That one was pretty good.
I was kind of posing. Jet was literally about to throw up because he was having like a stomach issue though. So
great. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. Well, nobody knew that. You know what I mean? That's the best part of it. Nobody had any idea. Yeah, the picture was great. I'll find it. I gotta find that. And I wish I had like a real producer of this thing because I just send it to him really quick and just be like, post this and then show it.
Right.
But okay, so you at 100%. Talk about that and like what, because you and I have kind of gone through this about what your role is at 100%, which is a lot more than what people think. You know what I mean? It is a lot more day in and day out stuff. Talk about that and kind of what the role looks like for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there 3 years now, and it's definitely changed a lot within those 3 years. It feels like I've been there way longer. Just like, I don't know if you want to say the progression I've gone through, or just the restructuring that we've gone through, or whatever. But yeah, when I first got brought on, I was just going to handle some amateur racing and whatever else. That turned into a year later, there were some things going on, and Jet and his crew reached out and kind of personally wanted me to go to the races, not in like a superficial way. It was just, they wanted to keep their circle small.
Yeah.
And, we had a guy that was doing everybody and that, doing fine, whatever, but they just felt like we got a small, tight circle. We want like a guy. And that was no issue for us. So, obviously I have a wife and 2 kids. So like there's a lot of travel involved, which my wife, she knows that I raced and all that stuff, but it's a bigger commitment when you're like, hey, I'm back in it again.
Yeah.
So summer of 23.
Good number.
I was just there at the races. I mean, I'm a face of the brand or whatever, but like I was specifically at the races for Jet is the truth of it. So that was the summer he went undefeated, which was, that was obviously cool. Like, we all know the story, rookie championship, undefeated.
Yeah. Solid.
Stuff. So like to be in that tight group and a part of that, like, and my relationship with them was evolving that whole summer too. So that was really cool. End of that year, some turnover in the company. And then I kind of got put in the position to handle everybody going in for the rest of the season. So that was 24 and 25, which then a couple title changes or whatever. But to answer your original question, I would be like sports marketing / moto marketing manager for 100%.
Yeah. And then, so it's Webb, Jet, who are the more like the premier, like I know it kind of sucks saying that because a lot of these guys are premier riders, but I know Webb and Jet. And then,
so in the US, like this year, I would say, we have, again, like you said, we have a lot, but like, I know what you're trying to say. We had Jet, Webb, Ferrandis, VL, Hymus, Ryder D.
That's right.
There we go. Yeah. Those are all starting to click off now. Who do you cover anybody in the GP side of things, or does somebody else handle that?
I mean, I have relationships with them like on the back end of it, but we have a guy in our US office that does our amateur support, but also he handles all their day-to-day needs. We send him to like five of the rounds, maybe. He just got back from the one in the Netherlands, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, over there we have KTM besides hurling. So we got, Lucas and Sasha Kunin, Simon Langenfelder, Andre Adamo, Matisse Vallon on the Cowie team, who's going to be over here for MX Nations, which will be cool. Glenn Coldenhoff, Calvin Vlanderen.
Damn.
We actually have a really good lineup this year. This is our first year. I feel like our lineup is really good in MXGP, which globally, like what we've done with Webb winning a championship, Vial winning a championship, Jet winning an outdoor championship. We have MX2 points leader over there. We have Lucas Kunin, who's like knocking on the door at this championship.
Yeah.
You know, and then in off-road, we have Tristan Hart, who's like badass dude, and Billy Bolt. Like we have, I mean, I feel like we have a really good moto foundation.
Yeah, Jet's about to win another championship after 3 more races.
Well, we got to start it, but I mean, because we'll have Sean Brennan on in a little bit, right? And he'll talk a little bit more on the SMX side. But what was your thoughts when that first got announced? Like, because you have a racing background, so you're in a unique position. You understand what it's like as a racer. You understand what it's like as an industry guy. You have like kind of both sides to it, but you're not involved with Feld directly. You know what I mean? So like, you don't have to have that outlook on it. When it first got announced for me, I was like,
"You're talking about SMX, the playoffs?"
Yeah, the playoffs, and like I was a little unsure about it. I think it's working though, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I first heard about it, you got to remember, when I was 10, I discovered motocross and I've been obsessed with it ever since. So like, to me, like more races from the fan in me is like,
right.
I'm like, that's cool. It's weird. It's unique. Like, let's see what happens. From the side of where I'm like, okay, there's, 3 more days on the road for, 9 more days on the road, the budget, all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, this is like, do we really need to do this? Can we cut even more somewhere else and whatever? But I don't know. I mean, the way my personality is, like, I'm cool with whatever.
It just seems like another weekend.
It does. Like, I mean, it's, it's like that you're on your way home and you're almost home, and that last 10 minutes is like, this is taking forever.
Yeah.
It's like we all keep saying, oh, season's over when motocross ends, but it's like, it's really not. There's still another month of racing. Like,
dude, what's really cool is I've started to see 100% pop up way more in baseball, because my son Charlie is a big baseball kid, right? We bought 100% glasses. Like, this is not, I know people probably think like, oh, this is some ad. It's really not. I can attest to that, because the amount of times you ask me for stuff and I ghost you, I know you're buying it. Yeah, I'm buying it for sure. I could show you, dude. I actually was kind of bummed. I was gonna be wearing my goggles the whole time when you jumped on, but I totally forgot to grab them.
Sorry, I'm checking the stream. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you.
Yeah, he's ignoring you. But it is pretty cool. Like, out of all of them, obviously you have some others that are involved in baseball, but to see a brand, in my opinion, which is 100% is a moto brand. It may not be to you, but in my head, the way I perceive it is, it was a moto brand, and now it's popping off into all these other industries, especially baseball with like Fernando Tatis, and like I know there's a couple other guys. Evanue was out there doing some stuff for 100%. I can't remember where he was at, a spring training or something, but like, that's got to be a pretty cool feeling too, to be involved in that world.
Yeah, I think Nick was down in Florida when that spring training was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, not only are we in baseball, but we have Tatis, Juan Soto, who's just like signed the highest salary for the Mets or whatever. Ellie De La Cruz, who's another badass, and he's kind of got a weird moto connection with the Santos Studios crew.
Oh yeah,
that like he was at A1. But yeah, no, it's super cool. I mean, and we are a moto company. That's the other thing I want to point out.
Yeah.
Like, our owners, we like, when I go to visit or we have meetings, like, they're the owners of the company, and it truly feels like a startup company, in the sense where like, it's after hours and we're just sitting there and we're talking, and they're getting excited about moto stuff. And I mean, everyone in the company, whether they're like in a dealer service role, they know moto. Like, it's really refreshing for me to have a whole brand behind my passion.
Yeah.
That's it.
When was the last time you rode?
On my 40th birthday, which was 3 years ago.
Oof, we gotta get you back on the bike, dude.
It was 3 years ago is the last time you rode?
Yeah. And before that was 6 years ago.
Is there a reason why? Is it because you're burnt out on riding? Is it because you're around moto too much? You just don't have the time?
No, it was just, I think we were having our second kid, and
yeah,
like the time, like, I don't know, nothing against anyone that rides. Like, maybe they have it better figured out, but like, my wife has to handle so much when I travel. And then if I'm like, hey, I'm going to go ride, it's like, I mean, the kids are like, my kids have Stasics and all that. Like, it's not like I'm anti-moto, but I did it for so long at a level that was high for me that I just don't miss riding or anything. Like, I think it's cool that people love it as much as they do, but for me, it's never even a thought.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense, especially when you talk about being gone every single weekend that involves dirt bikes. Like, it's not like you were gone every single weekend, doing some off thing, right? And then it's like, okay, it kind of gives you a chance to miss it. I understand that, because whenever I go and cover races, I don't feel like I'm missing it as much as if I'm gone doing other things that aren't involved moto. You know, all of a sudden you kind of get there and it's kind of whatever. But
what is your process at the race? Are you staying through the whole thing to the very end? Or are you like,
oh no, he leaves, dude. He'll drop his goggles and he's out. He's back on his private jet. He's just
no, I mean, it's a long day. I usually get there. Practice, I think, starts at 8. So I like to be there at like 6:30. Like I'm at that age where I like to be early, you know.
He is early. Yeah, I caught him early.
Are you choosing all the riders, what style they're going to wear, what colors?
That's a good question. Yeah, that is a good question.
I've always been curious about how does it work. Do you lay them out and they get to choose? Nope, I want to wear those. Or you're like, yep, you're wearing these. But do you set them up with whatever gear they're going to wear? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, they're open. They can totally request something. That's never really happened. Usually I'll get with their agents or their whatever gear sponsor they are, like their manager, and they'll send me the gear plans, and then I just get to play around with what I want to do.
Nice. That's sick. I've always wanted to know that. I've had opportunities to ask people, but at the moments I forgot, and it just clicked in my head right now to ask you. So
yeah, that's one of my favorite things too. I feel like is when I get giddy over seeing a gear plan from the brands, and then like, okay, like what can I do with this? And it's funny because I was just telling my wife today, because again, end of the season, you kind of start to get burned out. But I was like driving the other day, and I reminded myself, like, I used to be that kid in the 90s going through all the magazines and like wanting to see everything and like being so obsessed with gear and the look of everything. And now I'm in a position where I kind of get to help mold and steer that. It's like, took me a minute to like put it in that perspective, but I was just like, damn, like as cool as I thought this job was, like it just got a little bit cooler for me.
Yeah. Dude, it's wild. I went to Fox headquarters and I saw Connor and Kenny and K-Day and those guys. And I remember that was the first time I ever really saw the behind the scenes of like how fast or how planned ahead they are on gear. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, he's like, this is the MX of Nations gear. This is the Redbud gear. And I'm like, bro, dude, that's like 8 months from now or whatever it was. And I was like, I couldn't believe how much planning goes into that. I get it. I understand why you would, right? Like you wouldn't want to have like, if somebody's coming out with blue gear, you wouldn't want to have them in, I don't know, some off color that just doesn't mesh well. And you want to have a little bit of style to it, because if you get more style points, it looks better, sells more, stuff like that.
Do you ever get a guy? Sorry, go ahead and respond and I'll ask.
No, I really didn't have much to say. I was just
okay. So do you ever get a rider that's like, nope, I don't want that style choice. I don't like those colors. Or do you get, I'm sure you know every rider's like, I want tinted lenses. I want clear lenses. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know everybody's preference. But do you ever come across someone and it's like, you thought something, okay, I've been working on this for 2 days, putting this color scheme together. You give them the goggles, like, nah, I want blue.
No, there are riders out there. Yes. I don't personally have any of them. The one thing that's kind of universal with everybody is some like white frames can kind of throw a glare. So I'll stay away from white frames, or if it's a goggle that I really like with a white frame, I'll Sharpie out the inside of the frame, which is a pain in the ass, but it
works.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I mean, there's a funny story one time this year with Webb. I had him in like a red goggle, and he has no problem with red goggle, but it was one of the Triple Crowns, and he had like a shitty Moto 1 or Moto 2, and he was the way Webb is. It's like he's super cool he's a cool dude regardless. I don't really talk to him on Saturday. Like he's so locked in and in the zone that Friday is a different Cooper Webb than a Saturday Cooper Webb. But bad motor or whatever, and like pissed off, told his mechanic to tell me like, don't ever put me in red goggles again. So like, but like, I mean, weeks later he's in red goggle. It was just like in that moment for some reason, his bad moto and a red goggle. So the rest of the
goggle. Dude, he needed somebody to take it out on.
So
yeah, exactly. And I don't get offended. I mean, at one point I probably would have been sensitive to it, but now it's like whatever.
So now, are the riders allowed to throw the goggles in the stands? Because I've heard things from people. Yes, they can. No, they can't. Can riders throw the goggles out? What happens with the goggles when they're done riding? They get to keep them, or they have to go back to you?
We've talked about this.
Yeah,
we've actually had a conversation about this.
Oh, he's never told me about
it.
Yeah. So I mean, the system for everybody is pretty much you want to collect back as much as you can.
Understandable.
Pop the lenses out, wash them, put new lenses in, just we're always trying to save a budget. Obviously, make sure they're good. Usually I like to I'll do that for qualifying and practice. And then for the main, have them in something new.
Right.
But I'm fine with them throwing them a podium guy or a career best or whatever. There's an actual moment and a reason you did it.
Right.
All about it. I'm here to help you build up your own brand and get fans and all of that. There's a part of me that would cringe a little bit. I can't help but think about the budget, but then I automatically, I'm like, nope, that's worth it to that fan. That person paid money to be here. If that's going to come off our budget, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But it's when guys are that just throw them to throw them, or
they're pissed off.
They throw them
don't even throw them. And I come back to the rig and nobody knows where they are. Legit just don't know where they are. That happens a lot.
Oh, they leave them on the track?
No, the people will be like,
what happened?
They were back here, but
somebody stole them.
It's a mystery. But
so two things, one thing, and then I want to get into the jet launch today, because dude, the commercial you guys made was pretty sweet. But what was crazy to me, and I never understood this, is and Ganofi kind of educated me on it, was no riders really wear tinted goggles. They all wear. So
I've actually noticed that, because you see in a lot of photo shoots, those goggles are usually tinted, but when it comes to racing, they're usually clear.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I
noticed that the other day.
I have a couple guys. Ferrandis is I would say one of my big name guys. He likes smoke lens, and Savachi also just a normal gray smoke. They're not in any kind of chrome or whatever. Even Jet sometimes will throw a curveball and want one for practice on the race day, but always races in a clear.
Interesting. Okay.
So does it matter if it's Supercross or motocross?
So for the guys like Savachi and Ferrandis, who are more smoke guys outdoors, if it's an open stadium in practice during the day, they want a smoke lens.
But always racing is typically
right. But when it's those day races and the sun's kind of setting, they don't seem to know what they want sometimes. So it's can you have a smoke and a clear ready? And it's just all right.
You typically bring both.
Yeah, it's just, you start bringing, there's so many options. You got to kind of chill out on what you want to bring down there.
Yeah. Right. So talk about the jet launch today. Obviously, he's had a lot of signature lines and goggles and all that stuff. And when you guys did it, I don't know if you guys are the first ones, but it looks like, from what I saw, it's removable patches, right? And I was hoping you would have,
Oh, nice. There we go.
So it is pretty cool. Heck? You could take it off. You could change the logo. You could change the number. We have,
it comes with 4 different patches. Yeah. It's
what went into that with Jet, and how did that go? Tell me, especially that shoot, because that shoot looked like, I don't know if you ever seen Catch Me If You Can, but it looked like it came straight from that movie.
Well, they filmed some of that movie there.
Oh, see, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it looked like it was exactly from that.
Yeah, so we filmed that 11 months ago, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we were set to launch it at A1, and there was a little bit of a delay, and we were just going to wait a couple weeks, and then Jet got hurt, and then we didn't want to launch it for outdoors, because outdoors a little bit underwhelming in that sense of launching a product like this. So we're all right, SMX, he'll actually have number 1. We use the number 1 in that, but it just really worked out well. But yeah, we shot that in October last year at TWA Airport at JFK.
Yep.
So we rented it out, and it was cool. We did it in a day, 2 days really. We flew Jet in, banged it out a whole day, and flew him out that night.
Yeah, it's so rad. But it's a cool looking goggle. It's a cool looking concept with what you guys have. Is it kind of like Jet, where you just send him stuff and you go, hey, these are the 4 or 5 different designs, or this is the concepts? Is he pretty easy? Because Jet seems to be kind of in tune with fashion and how he does things and stuff like that. So I think he takes it a little bit more serious than no, it's not. This isn't a diss towards Webb, but it's Webb probably doesn't seem like he would really care as much. He'd be here's a little couple things and then be done. Jet seems more particular,
Yeah. I don't know Webb on that level to know how his fashion sense is, but I know what you're saying with Jet. Yeah, I mean, maybe we come up to him with like 10 concepts, and we're like, hey, we need to chop it down to 4. Like, tell us what your favorite 4 are, and maybe we go with that exact ones. Maybe we don't, but it's definitely there's input from him for sure. And with all of these concepts, we usually bring it to him pretty early in the stages to kind of let him know, and he usually has insightful things of just maybe something we weren't thinking about, like just his age versus our age. You know, like there's I mean, you have kids, they say some pretty wild stuff that you just didn't think they were going to say. Like, so it's cool that he's involved with it for sure.
Yeah. No, it's sick, dude. Man, you know, Webb's going to hit you up now and be like, what, you don't think I have style?
Nah, I don't think that's what it's going to be.
Comments coming. It's coming.
No,
the Webb, DM is coming.
Dude, Webb is really cool. Like he's a cool guy. He's more his own like entity.
He's
and
a family
enigma
man
and like all that stuff, right? Like, so
yeah, he's blue collar. He just wants to work hard and win.
Yeah, he just wants to win. That's all he cares about. So, hey, I appreciate you coming on. I really do. It's been a long time.
It's done,
dude. You have no idea the crazy schedule that I have today. Like it's. I mean, if you want to stay on with Sean Brennan, you're more than welcome to. And you can talk about all the Feld stuff that you want and every little thing that will help make your job easier. All that stuff is
parking pass. I want a parking pass.
There, I'll bring it up to him. I'll request it when he comes on.
We have some high power with Sean Brennan. I mean, we can make it happen.
Yeah, if there's anything we can make happen, it's going to be a parking pass for you.
And that's it, dude. That's all you're getting.
That's all I want. I mean, I'm not some punk kid trying to sneak into the race. Just like let me get in a good spot.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was rad. We appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much. And it was cool. You answered the questions that I really wanted to ask you.
Dude, the hard hitting questions.
Well, those are questions that relate to the average fan that are curious about those same things.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a good point.
So now we know if the always get thrown into the stands, you might cringe a little bit, but it's worth it.
I'll cringe for about 5 seconds. Yeah.
All right, buddy. I appreciate your time, man.
All right, guys. I appreciate you.
All right. I'll talk to you.
All right.
Oh, there you go. See, I killed him. I killed him real fast.
Yeah.
And our next prestigious guest, I was hoping that I was going to have a little bit of time in between, but it's like so easy to talk to Godolphy and like getting all those stories and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously we have Sean Brennan, Director of Public Relations.
Great guy
for Feld.
Super great guy. Super good looking.
The best looking. Yeah. Welcome to the 23 Moto podcast. And thanks for joining us.
Wow, gentlemen. Yeah, first timer here. And I see that you're making promises on my behalf. I like that. That's awesome.
Okay. It was just a parking pass, man. That was it.
Out of all the things that we could request a parking pass, I was like, all right, I don't know if I want to draw the line in the sand here.
Yeah, there you go. He's right.
Parking pass. Okay. All right.
That's for
now, is that a normal parking pass or is that like a super parking pass in the paddock pass?
Listen, beggars can't be choosers. It just whatever he gets. And if he gets something, it's a win in my book.
Just put him in the back somewhere.
All right. We'll put him in the back. We'll find some room somewhere.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of people may or may not know Sean, but Sean, you basically are in charge of all things public relations, media. You were basically responsible for Pat McAfee, right? With Colt Nichols coming on Pat McAfee, which is by far my favorite thing that has been done in recent. I even texted you that, or I wrote you that saying, that is amazing. You've had Bussin' with the Boys. You had AP on Bussin' with the Boys. I mean, you just had Faulkner on a few different things, and Faulkner's a great representative of Supercross.
You're making a lot of things happen.
Yeah. And so talk to us about our viewers about like what kind of goes into why you make some of those decisions and where you see opportunity, in places where maybe the normal moto fan maybe wouldn't see, because you're in that world way more than we are, right?
Yeah, no. And thank you for noticing those big mainstream hits like that. When they come, they're hard to get, but it's something that we're always working on. And first and foremost, it's not all just me. I've got a great team that works diligently and hard with me. And Joe Weber, as you guys know, has been, through thick and thin with all of this stuff. But we also had Ken Roxon on Bussin' with the Boys as well.
That's right. That's right.
AP, and Ken. And I would just say that there is no one way that all of these things come together, because Bussin' with the Boys came one way, Pat McAfee came another way, the ESPN Sports Centers come another way, right?
Deegan was on ESPN. Yeah.
Yep, he sure was. And it really does take a village to put all of these things together. And in some cases, like the Deegans on Sports Center, Bob Walker, their agent was, that was all the credit to him. Fox and Friends, where we had the Deegans in New York City. And then the People Magazine exclusive, that was an idea that we came up with the IndyCar folks, and was able to really line everything together. But boy, a whole lot had to come together, to make that happen. Pat McAfee, we've been working on Pat for, my goodness, probably 10 years, right?
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And last year, 2024, we came very close. And if you remember, Supercross in Indianapolis fell on St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
And so every year, we reach out to him, and it was actually somebody on our staff that ended up coming in contact with Pat and actually getting his direct text number. And
Nice.
So he put me in touch with him. We had his cell number, and I'm like, sometimes, boy, is it real or not, right? But it was actually his number. So probably 2 days going into Supercross, here we are texting with Pat directly, not even a producer, and lining all these things up and lining bikes up. And he was going to come out to the stadium. But he ended up flying to Pittsburgh. So on Thursday night, he had an event in Pittsburgh. So Thursday, he flew to Pittsburgh, had a private jet, did that function that went to like maybe midnight, and then was supposed to get out of there around midnight. And then they had really bad weather in Indianapolis. And I'm not sure if you even remember that, but we had really bad weather in Indy, and his flight home got delayed. And so he ended up not even getting back until like 4:00 in the morning. And then he does his show live every, day starting at noon. So for him to then, come down on Friday and be a part of our media day, or the window that we had carved out for him, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So then, we punted that idea, and it's like, well, okay, come on out to the event. We'll hook you up in a suite. We had him in under, in the garage underneath the building parking spot.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like as VIP as you could get. But it ended up being St. Patty's Day. And so he was taking his team out for, St. Patty's Day. And he was, Pat, he is just as
celebration,
forthcoming and legit and authentic as it can be. And he just said, I ended up partying too hard, man. I ended up, no, it's St. Patty's Day, right?
Yeah, understandable.
So, again, these things all come from different things. So obviously we're, chatting with Pat, and then, this year it was very similar. Reached out to him a little bit earlier this time. And he was like, yeah, let's make it happen. So we ended up getting the invitation out to the Thunderdome, which is very, very rare. As you guys know, that's really, A-level folks. So, man, we cannot thank Pat and his team enough for allowing, us to bring Colt Nichols in, bring a bike, bring the trophy. He ended up giving us 30 minutes and ending the segment on the show that day. And boy, that was just incredible. And, Colt Nichols, I know you guys heard it, but Colt could not have been a better ambassador for the sport. Went into a lot of different things. But boy, kudos to Colt as well, because man, he walked right in, to the lion's den there with a veteran crew, and boy, he represented our sport really, really great.
Well, when he first went in there, And when I first heard about that, it was Colt. I'm like, okay, Colt's a really good guy, but I'm like, I haven't really seen him on camera that much. And I'm like, oh man, like, I don't know if he'll get nervous. I know if he's not nervous, he's great talking and he's intellectual. He can think, like, all that stuff. Like, he's good
But
there
on a big stage.
But I'm like, dude, with Pat McAfee, I'm like, man, and he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know anybody that could have done better. You know, that was crazy to me.
Yes. I don't know, when you go back and you listen to it, I don't know either, right? Yeah. But I will say this, Colt Nichols understood the moment.
Yep.
He understood the moment and knew what he needed to do. And I know from, hearing from Dustin and the team around him, he was studying on the flight there, and he was watching old clips and he was watching the show. So, he prepared himself for that moment. And, you need that. You've got to practice media just like you do anything else. And boy, he really knocked it out of the park. But, back to your original question. And again, all of these things, come in different shapes, sizes, and forms.
Yeah.
We are always in, me and our team, here at Feld Motorsports are in some form or fashion of strategy or, ideation, coming up with things, and or we're executing. So it is always, it is 24/7 always. I mean, we start out 6 weeks in front of every city that we go to, creating a plan, working with local media. But there's a lot of different ways these things come together. But I will say that this year has certainly been a banner year with mainstream sports here in the United States.
How do you figure out who you're going to have represent at different events? Like, how have you, like, because that can't be easy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy on the riders. It's not easy on you. It's not easy on the media. Like, how do you kind of figure that out?
So it's shifted a lot the last couple of years, especially, one little known fact, even like with Austin Forkner in St. Louis, we identify a hometown athlete in every city that we go to. So part of our week of race execution, we have a hometown athlete, hopefully, that is from that city. Yeah. And we're doing a media tour, and that's, really designed for in-studio television, in-studio radio, and really just, hitting all of that local media with the hometown hero, if you will. Yeah. So again, in the off season, we take a look at the schedule. We really try to identify hometown athletes that we know will, be good for those markets. And then on the pro level, our media day, that is something that is, so you have in studio Thursday, and then Friday is when we invite all of the general market news and media to come out to the stadium.
Right.
So we end up having a whole new crew of athletes that we use for, riding and visuals. That's the thing, playing dress up and having visuals. So, thanks to Yamaha, we have PR bikes where we do learn to rides. They can get up in the gear. Fly Racing gives us a ton of gear. And there's nothing better than to play dress up and actually get on a motorcycle. So that has really become probably our most, popular media invitation that, is a winner. And, at the end of the day, that is designed really for media to understand, to get on a motorcycle and sort of understand what it's like to be one of our athletes. And make that connection, because when you watch it on TV, as we all know, it's hard to tell what our athletes are doing. And when you put a reporter on a little 110 on just the start straight of a supercross track, and they can barely, keep it up, like, it really does give them a really good idea of what these guys are actually, doing. And then, our media day is all designed really to have our stars in market for when sports reporters are most available. So you've got the early morning hours where that's a completely different crew.
Yeah.
Sports reporters that are used to going to the local hockey games, the local football games, baseball, they're putting together newscasts for 6, 7, and a lot of times the 10 and 11 o'clock news. So they don't get up early. So that is why, media day, and we work that schedule out with the teams so that it's not overbearing on just one team and not overbearing on one athlete. But on the factory level and on the elite athletes, they've got 5 different supercrosses, throughout the 17 that they know that they are going to be part of media day. We'll be pitching them. And then, there is a very good likelihood that they're going to be called upon to do media that week. So that's kind of a little glimpse into how, the nuts and bolts and day to day, week to week. But then the national things are all, a little bit different. You really are trying to get creative with things, figure out opportunities, especially on the mainstream level. And all of them, boy, they come in a lot of different ways. But anywhere that we can showcase, our elite athletes and putting them in the, mainstream sports and in national mainstream types of media, that is, first and foremost on our minds.
The thing that's interesting, the best thing about SMX, the playoffs, in my opinion, is I get requested. The number one thing people DM me all the time is, how do I meet riders? How do I get signed stuff? How do I get autographs? How do I get jerseys? All that stuff, right? That's the number one thing people ask. The thing that because I was doing my research and making sure I was a little prepared, right, is at the SMX rounds, at the playoff rounds, you have a full day where people can buy passes and go to the races. Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, a word of advice for any fan out there. If you want to talk and interact with a rider, you do it on Friday. You don't do it on race day. Race day, those guys are locked in. And in SMX playoffs, you have the ability to go and be a spectator and watch them ride, watch them practice, do all the things that they do. But then you guys also do have autograph sessions too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people are aware of that aspect of it. I think obviously, for the most part, some people are, but I was like, dang, that is actually a great time to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
It's the best time. And thank you for bringing that up, because we need you and folks like you in your position to continue to beat that drum. Everything that we are doing with the SMX World Championship is bringing the 2 disciplines together, Supercross and Motocross. And that is, not only the hybrid tracks and bringing that together in the competition, a 2-moto format, all of those things on the track, but then even off the track, my goodness, part of the allure of pro motocross is showing up on Thursday, getting yourself a campsite, being there all weekend, being there on a Friday when it is much more casual, like you're saying, and in some cases having things to do that are organized, by our partners in MX Sports. So they are our motocross and outdoor summer fan base. They're used to those things. So that's why it was very important for us to create and have that same type of thing with the SMX rounds. So this year we're able to do that in Charlotte and in Las Vegas, just like last year. We were able to do it for all 3 rounds, the first year and the second year. Being that we're in St. Louis this year, we can't offer that Friday programming. But Charlotte and Las Vegas this year, we're offering camping. We have a full day of activity, doors open at 11. They're able to take part in the press conference. It'll take place at 11:30. And then we have the practice sessions. So every athlete will be out there riding in between 1 and 4. To your point, we have autograph sessions happening from 4 to 4:30 at the team rigs. We have pit bike racing. And then we're doing an SMX Insiders live show as well. So there's a full day on Friday at those 2 events that are, much more in line with, like a pro motocross as well. But along that same thought, fans can line the track at all these rounds, and even in St. Louis. And I'm not sure if you guys have been able to do that yet, but that is obviously one of the neatest fan experiences at a pro motocross, is just continuing to go around and hitting all the different track spots and lining the fence. You can do that at the SMX rounds, which is an awesome experience. Everything that we do at the podium is open to the fans as well. So the overall experience, we have tried to incorporate as many things from pro motocross and supercross into these postseason races as we possibly can.
Which is really good, right? Because fans, them trying to make the best experience for a fan is key to anything, right? Yeah. That's how you get fans to come back. That's how you get fans to tell, people to tell other people about their race. And hey, I got to do this. I experienced this. I had the freaking time of my life because I got to do this. So the things that you guys are coming up with, you know what I mean? Your ideas of how can we make the experience so much better for the fans is going to help our sport tremendously. And I think you guys are doing such a good job, you yourself and your team, about getting and marketing our sport out to new people that haven't really seen the sport or heard about the sport. And that was the one thing that when we started this podcast was, I don't want to be like every other podcast. I'm trying to reach people that don't really know this sport because I want to bring more people into it, so.
That actually brings up a very good question. This is probably one of my favorite questions. So I go to Instagram and I post who the guests are and all that stuff. We ask for questions. This one is actually one of my favorites that I've gotten. And it's from Mr. Eric Reynolds, friend of the program. Yep. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Like it.
Yeah, it's friend of the show is, how do you maintain loyal fans, but also push the sport to evolve and attract new fans? It goes along with what Robbie was saying.
Because a lot of things that you do, right? You might irritate some of the hardcore fans, but they need to understand we're trying to make our sport bigger.
Yes. It is a very delicate balance, as I am sure, you guys can see. But no, there are a lot of different conversations with everything that we do. Our core fan base, They are so loyal, and we are so appreciative to have them. And, when you look at both disciplines, you're looking at a 50-plus year history on both. So there are things, and I think that's sort of where, SMX is at, right now. We're only at year 3. It is an infant in the lifespan. So we realize that there are things that our core fan base certainly will not accept, right? And you can never, stray too far away from that blueprint. But at the same time, we have to keep growing this. The sport has to evolve. It has to continue to evolve. So the only way to do that is by continuing to bring new eyeballs into the sport. And that is really why the creation of the 31 round overall championship series, 2 different disciplines with a postseason. And I know that there are still some core fans out there, and you can get bogged down in language. Is it really a playoff? Is it really this, that? It's all vernacular, but at the same time, that is what every other sport, our biggest competition is here in the United States. What do all other sports fans, what are they used to? They are used to a regular season and a postseason and something culminating in a championship. So that has been a very fine line where, we say that, the Supercross Championship, we do not want to lose the integrity of that. The Pro Motocross Championship, we do not want to lose the integrity of that either. However, when we were operating independently and individually, every time you try to go out and sell a new TV package or a new sponsor outside of the sport, it was very hard to do that on a 4.5-month Supercross schedule. And then at the time, MX Sports was, doing the same pitching for 3.5 months. And it's like, well, what, is it,
Correct.
So the bringing the both together, was a huge step in the evolution of this. And this year's numbers, in every data point, we're seeing the growth, and it is working. But right now, there's debate online about a wild card. Why isn't it an LCQ? So we go through these growing pains. Super Motocross, even the name Super Motocross. What else were we going to call it? It really is the unification of Supercross and Motocross. So, but we also understand that, from a marketing standpoint, once people understand what you've done and you've unified both of these disciplines, and it is Super Motocross, then you can start tweaking the name, and you're seeing that it's now, SMX World Championship, and people know what SMX is, but we had to obviously start somewhere. SMX just would have confused the audience, especially new people that aren't familiar with the sport.
So where you really got it right is, and I could be wrong in this, but where one of those things where you were talking about how you don't want to alienate your hardcore fans, all that stuff, you guys, or Feld as a whole, Supercross as a whole, moved down the race times, right? So it went, instead of being at 7 o'clock at night here in California, right? You guys moved it down to, I think, 5 p.m.
Which and everybody loved.
And so I hated it, but this is my point.
Maybe not him, but I did.
At first, I was like, what are we doing? It's a night race. Like, this is what it's been our whole life. But now I'm like looking at it, I'm like, it is so much better.
It is.
Like, it is 100% better. That is one of those things where it goes into it.
But it also goes to the East Coast fans, because you start a race at A1 at 7 p.m. It starts 10 o'clock for them. You started at 5, it starts earlier for them. So it's a win-win, I believe, for everybody. And especially when you go to the races, as us, we go to the races. You've had us at the races. We've done media. We've done all that stuff. It's a long day.
Oh, getting home at 9 o'clock.
It's a very long day. Yeah. So you get home earlier as well.
Ooh,
it's so much nicer.
It's good.
Yes. Both of you have children?
Oh, yeah. We're full.
And you watch the races with both?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're on, the East Coast, and as you mentioned, it is 10 o'clock at night, and depending on the age of your child, one, they might not even be making it, right? For falling asleep. But it takes, and we suffered with that schedule for a long time, but it really made sense, once we signed with Peacock. And we really got into a rhythm, and that streaming platform is consistent each and every week. It really made sense to put those West Coast races in that more East Coast primetime zone, and it's working. It is working because we're seeing that in the numbers and in the streaming numbers and our continued growth. So. But yeah, boy, did we hear, a whole bunch of feedback going into Anaheim, and, opening ceremonies aren't going to be the same, and it's still light out. And,
it was the same, though. A1, literally, it might have been
the same.
Maybe just a little bit lighter out, but it all felt the same. It really did.
Yeah. But, to that point, and it was Dave Prater, who I'm sure
I know
both
Dave,
of you know. And Dave was really looking at, when the sun goes down, and looking at, different months and different, to that detail. Like, we really do research all of these things before, making a decision. There's a lot of thought that goes into making any change, because it is very delicate, and that's where we really try not to throw too much, too soon, but make sure that everything is well thought out before we put it into play. We'll be the first to tell you that, we're not perfect. We don't say we're perfect. And if we have a bad idea and it doesn't work, we'll be the first to change it. But when things do work, we just ask the fans to, take it in, give it some time, be patient, and, see how it is, changing and affecting the overall growth, of the sport, which is really always the first thing that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Change is good. Change is really good, especially when you're dealing with new generations of people coming up too. It might have worked for this generation for this, but it might not work for this generation. So you have to cater to both, and I think a lot of people don't like change necessarily, but change is good. You know what I mean? Especially when all you're trying to do is improve the sport, bring new eyes to the sport, and make the sport bigger. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're the type of person that you go in there and you're like, hey, this didn't work. Okay, we're going to find something else that will. It's the things that like, okay, people are pissed off about and mad about and like, okay, this isn't working and nothing gets changed again. But you guys don't have that problem. You find something that works or you find something that doesn't, and then you go on from there.
Yep. And, we do fan surveys after every event, so we know when something isn't working. And I'll give you a good example of that. Las Vegas last year, and we do realize that the ticket pricing in Las Vegas is expensive. Mm-hmm. We have very limited seating because we are at the Strip and the Dragway. We don't have the 100,000 seats available inside Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So it is a much more intimate experience by design, and we're really able to get creative with that track that we're building there. But we're having to build that entire infrastructure. So less seating, higher demand, higher ticket pricing. But, our fans told us in a post survey that, the parking should be inclusive. So that is something that we changed for this upcoming year, that when you buy a ticket in Las Vegas, parking is included. Another good example is people staying at the Strip. People staying at the Strip. They didn't want to deal with all that driving back and forth.
This is good. Yeah.
Yes. So our partners at Monster Energy solved this with us. Yep. And we will now have shuttles back and forth all day long
from the Strip.
That's amazing.
That is a good idea.
Yes, because a lot of people are going to want to stay at the casinos on the Strip. You know what I mean? So to have a ride there and back that's free, they're going to love it. Absolutely.
Yep, and that is all on behalf and sponsored by our friends at Monster. So
I love it.
These are things, as we've been talking, change and evolution and listening to your consumer is so important. And we do try, we do that with everything that we do.
Yep. So I have to hand up. I'm about to get crucified by 12 softball girls if I don't hurry up and get out of here.
Coach over
I'm
here.
Softball coach. That is why everything is condensed. I have a softball schedule. We have the pot. I mean, it's just a mess. You know what I mean? But I don't need 12 angry girls and a wife. I don't need that. You know what I mean? But for real I can't thank you enough for coming on. I want to show people more insiders than just riders. The riders are super important. It's the most important is the riders, the industry people that make it all work and everything that kind of goes behind it. And so that's why I tried bringing on different people. That's why I brought Mathis on. You know what I mean? He has a different side of things. And I don't know. We just enjoy talking different aspects of the sport.
We do. We love this. We love this sport and we bleed this sport. And we love every aspect of this sport, not just the racing side of it. Like this stuff, Sean Brennan, the stuff that you put into this sport. You know what I mean? What you do and everything that you help with this sport.
It's all
other media people. You know what I mean? It's all love for everybody. We love it. We want other people. They want to hear everything too. And I think it's really good for like everything that you put in and talked about what goes in on a media day that people don't realize. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff, I've been to media day. I didn't realize you put that much effort into it. You know what I mean?
No, and we hire local teams in every market that we go to. It's another thing that people on the outside, having a local expert that helps with that stuff on the local level. We have national agencies that help us with things. So there's a huge investment, not only financial, but, people wise as well, with everything we do. But you have to do that to stay competitive and stay in the forefront. It's an ever-changing landscape out there.
Yeah. All right. So we'll let you go. We have our predictions. And so we can
who's going to win?
Who's going to win?
The
Charlotte,
championship?
You know, no. Well, okay. The race predictions. Yeah. But seriously, Sean, thank you for coming on.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
We'll talk more, you know, like whatever is needed on I do think I'll hit more on the whole point of getting people out there. If they really want to see people, go out there at Charlotte and go out there at Vegas and go meet these riders on Friday. You know what I mean? I'll hit
awesome time to do that. You're absolutely right.
Yep. So, all right. So we'll let you go. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I'm going to go yell at a bunch of softball girls for an hour.
This guy.
I wanted to talk about all rock and roll stuff and all that. And I'm like, dude, I'm all sorts of jam packed.
We'll have to have you back on, Sean, so we can talk a little bit
and
longer.
Maybe more people from Feld as like a whole and like a round robin thing. And like, you know, like you guys have so many stories. So thank you, brother. Right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
That would be great. Boys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good luck with your softball practice, and we'll see you at one of these upcoming rounds. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Bye, Sean.
All right, there we go.
What a great guy.
That was rad.
Super nice guy.
So I'm like sitting here panicking. I'm like, dude, if I don't get out of here in like 5 minutes, I'm going to get crucified.
Okay, race predictions.
Yeah.
Jet Lawrence.
Yeah. I would say Jet.
Wait, where are we going first? North Carolina?
We always,
So you go East Coast track.
No, but I don't think it really matters as much. I think
you don't see the dirt.
No, I mean, I just think that it's a completely different type of racing. So I don't think that the racing that you got from Supercross or motocross.
Dude, did you see Masterpool last year?
Yeah, he did great.
Bro.
Dude, Justin Cooper, Eli Tomac running a scoop tire at Texas. Like, there's just so many storylines.
I'm excited for SMX.
That come out of SMX. It's unreal.
Yep.
I think Deegan wins 250s and Jet wins 450s.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to win every single round.
I don't necessarily. There's a good chance that they could. Yes. I'm pushing for one last hoorah for this year of my boy to get
Eli
to win one.
So that's why I think it is. So anyways,
but dude, RJ could do it too.
RJ's so good, dude. Thank you everybody that joined. Yep. Thank you everybody that listened.
Appreciate you guys.
All that stuff. Like shout out our boy Apex,
but
everybody that watches this, and you know, you don't understand how much we appreciate it.
We love doing this. So thank you guys.
we really do. So
I think Eli will. Apex says I think Eli will. My guy.
I gotta go. Shout out Factory Effects, Luxon Clamps, Albeck Cobags, Yoshimura, Motosport.com. Everybody, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We're out of here.
If you guys want to stay here and just listen to me while he goes to softball, we can talk about whatever you want. You know.